4. Kneeling in the sea of roses proposed that day. Fiancé said, such as Bestie married to Mary turned around, but in the circle of friends my bestie said no separate. I was standing in the middle of a sea of roses still on one knee, the ring I had been holding now sinking into the river thrown there by Cynthia. Now I didn't look like I was proposing. I looked more like someone who had done something terribly wrong and was begging for forgiveness. I couldn't help but let out a bitter laugh, only I could turn a romantic touching proposal into such an embarrassing scene. And I'd been through this 99 times before. From the age of 23 to 30, Cynthia and I had been in a relationship for 7 years. I had proposed 99 times, and today was the 100th each time she had refused, saying that Eric hadn't gotten married yet. At one point I thought that even if Cynthia graded me from 0 to 100 after 100 proposals, I should get a perfect score, and she would finally agree. So I deliberately chose my 30th birthday as the day for the 100th proposal, hoping to step into a new chapter of life with her. I truly believed this time would be different. I thought she would say yes, but as expected she rejected me without hesitation. I stood up and looked at Cynthia, her face full of impatience. I asked her again, hoping for some closure. Cynthia, we've been together for 7 years. This is my 100th proposal. Stop kidding around. She rolled her eyes, her tone dripping with indifference. So what? My bond with Eric has lasted over 20 years. Does that not mean more than the 7 years we've had? I've told you 99 times already, and I am telling you again, this is our promise from childhood. If Eric doesn't get married, neither will I. Besides, why does our relationship need a marriage certificate to prove anything? Just as I was about to speak again, hoping to change her mind, Cynthia grabbed her bag, turned on her heels, and walked away, her high heels clicking sharply against the pavement without even looking back. Just like the 99 times before, her back was as resolute as ever. She got in her car, slammed the door, and immediately drove off, not sparing me a second glance. The friends around me sighed in sympathy. After my 5th failed proposal, no one wanted to show up at any of the events anymore. This time I had called all my friends again, hoping they'd witness the happiness between Cynthia and me. I had thought this time would surely work, but once again I made a fool of myself in front of them. At least I thought. I was glad it was just a proposal and not the wedding. If it had been a wedding, a bride walking out 100 times would have turned into a joke. I methodically dismantled the decorations, sent each of my friends home, and returned alone to the empty house. When I checked my phone, the first thing I saw was a new Instagram post from Eric. With you by my side, I am no longer alone. The picture was of Cynthia resting her head on his shoulder, her face serene, a smile on her lips. The Cynthia in the photo looked so different from the one I had just seen, impatient and dismissive at the proposal site. I had always had issues with Eric when I first got together. With Cynthia, I made sure to ask her directly. If she liked Eric, she could tell me, and I wouldn't force her to stay with me. Cynthia would always accuse me of being petty, blaming me for tarnishing the purity of their friendship. Can't you stop being so paranoid? Eric had separation anxiety when he was young because his parents often left him alone at home. He needs someone with him or he'll get sick. I promised him I'd stay by his side until he got married. How could I leave him? Can't you be a little more generous about it? You're a man.